Welcome back, guys. It's a rainy but now starting to come out sunny morning here at Nick's Veggie Patch. As you know, I do my videos now from my garden. I've uploaded one over the weekend. It was a long awaited video because I haven't done one for a couple of months, but I'm going to do another one now. This is only going to be a quick video, and this is a video about making a raised bed. So in the last video I showed you myself making a raised bed, or showed you a raised bed that I had made. In this video I'm actually going to show you me making a raised bed, because I've got the perfect pallet to do that with. So I'm going to show you what I'm going to be doing. I've already started by taking a couple of the slats of the pallet off, but I'll show you where it's going to go, what I'm going to kind of turn it into, and then we can go from there. So, and I'll also tell you what's going to be going in this particular raised bed as well, because I brought a few vegetable and salad plants yesterday from a local garden centre, or stroke DIY centre, that they had that ready for an autumn kind of spring harvest. So plant them now and you'll get on some of them an autumn harvest, and the rest you'll get a spring harvest. So yeah, I'm going to show you what's going in there, and I'll come back to you guys in a minute. Right guys, so here is the said pallet. I've removed 3 of the slats from it so far. So my plan is to use the 4 big pieces of wood here, and then I'm going to reattach the slats to it to make a raised bed. It's going to be 21 inches by 26 inches. So I've got a little area that I told you about where I was going to put a raised bed into, next to a current raised bed that has got black kale in it and some leeks. So I've got the pallets here. It is absolutely perfect. I'm going to take all the slats off. Originally I was going to leave the slat on the bottom, but I'm going to take them all off if I can get them all off. Take them all off. Then I'm going to use the long wooden pieces here to rejoin some of the slats. I'm probably going to make it about 3 or 4 slats high. But I've got the perfect pieces here to take off to use to make a raised bed. As you can see, just there is my pallet breaker. It takes off the slats and leaves them in one piece if they're not too damaged. So yeah, this is the first stage, is basically taking off all the slats and taking out any nails that are in there. I don't know whether I'll be able to reuse them, but we'll see what happens. And what I'll do is I'll show you how my thing works in taking the slats out. So basically guys, obviously pull this first one out. Just have to go careful with any nails, as some may remain, but it is basically, so you put your pallet breaker that takes up the slats. You can see in the middle here if you've got anywhere to rest it on, and then it is just a case of pushing down. They will start to move eventually. you will hear a creaking sound. Try not to break the slats if you can hear it. Now that's just come up, that one. Once you get one up, the others come up a lot easier, and then you can just literally pull them out. These are brilliant. You can get these in any good DIY store. This cost me 20 quid from Toolstation, and it works an absolute treat. Before that, I was just using a hammer to try and get the nails out and to salvage a pallet, because I like to upcycle things, but this is perfect, this tool. So I've just showed you there, guys, how to take the slats out. What I'll do is I'll finish this off, guys, and I will come back to you. Okay, so I've got the first stage complete. What I've decided to do was to take out nearly all the slats. I left a slat at the bottom there, and one in that side, and then I measured out in the gaps where the slats were going, and then took out the slats as needed. So what I've done is there's been a slight change of plan to where it's going to go. So I'm going to make it technically the size you see it, the length you see it, and I will cut through the wood there at either end, so I'll get a good clean cut. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim off the end bits here to make them nice and even at the end, and then with the remaining slats that I've taken out, that I'm taking the nails out currently. I'm keeping the nails, by the way, because they are pallet nails. They're really good, and they're doing the job going back in. You might have just seen my cat one of my cats go past. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do with the remaining slats. I'm going to measure them and then cut them down to size, and they will make the sides. I'm not going to put a bottom on it, but what I will do is when I lay it on the floor, it's going to go around by my greenhouse now. So where I've got my black storage bin, it's going to go where the black storage bin is. The black storage bin is going to go into my shed. I will then lay it down and see what it looks like. Then take it back up, put some black sheeting down, and then just rest it on the black sheeting, and then dump compost in it. I may divide it up, maybe inside the actual trough once the compost is into maybe 2 or 3 sections, if there's any slats left over. But if not, it will be a raised bed ready to go, with some more vegetables and salads that I've got to go in. I decided it was too good to cut down and go in that little square sort of area. So yeah, it will be the size you see there. So I'm going to carry on. I'm going to take the nails out of the rest of the slats. I'm then going to cut that down to size. Once that's cut down to size, I'm going to put it together, and I'll show you the next stage when I get to it. Right guys, so I've trimmed all the side bits off now, and now what I'm going to do is, with my battery operated saw, I'm going to go straight down through the ends here, and then I'm going to measure up the slats for the sides, stick it together, and I should have a raised bed ready to go. Right guys, I'm at the next stage now, where I've cut all the remaining slats apart from 1 to size, measured them up, cut them to size. So I've measured where the raised bed's going to go around the side. So I've cut them to size, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to nail them in, get the first 4 in, then nail the others into the bottom, and then this will be the raised bed completed. I don't have enough slats remaining to put a bottom on it, but that won't matter because I am going to lay some black weed control membrane down, plonk it on top, trim it. That will then stop the weeds from coming up, because the weight of the box and the compost inside will stop the weeds from coming up. So I'm going to attach the 4 sides and then come back to you. Right, that's the first side done, guys. It's all been nailed down. I've put 2 nails in each, and I've gone through the really strong bit of wood there rather than the slats. So that's looking good. I'm going to flip it over now and do the other side. Right, guys, so there you are. It's all finished now. I have come up with another little idea. I've got some spare long planks or long pieces of good size chunky wood that needs using, and what I've decided is, where I've built one of the raised beds that I showed you in the video I uploaded yesterday, I'm gonna make a cover to go on top of this, so it will sit on top where those nice long wooden pieces are, and then I drill some holes in it, and then I'll put those plastic tubes that bend, put them over, slot them into place, put some netting over, and then I've got something I can literally just lift off, water my plants easily, and then put it straight back on. But I'm probably going to do that later, and then that will be shown once I've finished. Right, guys, I've made the little square rectangle thing that will take the hoops and then the netting over, and that is just one way I'm going to be able to lift it off of the raised bed to harvest things that go in there. But with the netting over, all we will have to do is literally just water through the netting, and this will keep my vegetable plants really nice and healthy. I'll show you the finished article when it's fully complete. I've only got to drill the holes and then put the tubes through with the netting on top, compost it, and it's ready to go. But I'll come back to you guys later. Right, guys, as you can see, the raised bed that I kind of made last week, I haven't placed it where it's going to go yet, but I've decided what I'm going to do. I'm going to add a few little touches to it. So you can see I've got some black sheeting over it. This is weed control fabric, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some of that weed control fabric, nail it all the way around, and then trim off the excess, place it down, and then it will be already nailed to the base, the bottom of the raised bed. And then if I need to move it, it won't move the black fabric sheeting because it'll already be down in place. Now, as you can see, just behind it is the top part of this new raised bed I'm building, which is going to hold the netting. So I've got some poles that you've seen before, so they're just there. I'm going to use some of them, not from that raised bed though, but there's the raised bed just there. I'm going to take those ones and I'm going to make it so it looks like that, but in a smaller version, and it will go on to this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the hammer, I'm going to get those nails, I'm going to nail them in, and then I'm going to put it in its place. I've moved the storage box from where it was. It's on my grass at the moment, and eventually sometime today I'll get it into my shed. But I'm going to get cracking on, guys, and I'll come back and show you the finished article, and then at some point today I will upload this new video. So there we go, guys. I've fitted the black weed membrane to it. I've obviously nailed it all the way around. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to go and put it in its place, and then I will fill it with compost, and I will get some bits and pieces in it. Also, while we're here today, I've cleared out my metal standing raised bed. Well, partly cleared it. I've got some rosemary, as you can see there. It's 2 different varieties. I'm going to put a little bit more compost in this bed, and then I'm going to put those 2 rosemaries at either end, and then I've got some stuff that is going to go in this raised bed. It's probably going to be some salady bits that I've got in the greenhouse ready to come out. Just some salad stuff that will see us over the next couple of months. They should be okay frost wise, but I will probably put a little bit of a cover over these if I've got any of those bendy poles left. But yeah, so as you can see, guys, it's all cleared out and it's ready to go. Right, guys, so that's it now for the latest episode of Nick's Veggie Patch. As you can see, I'm really happy with what I've built. Yes, it's taken a little bit longer than normal, but obviously I've been busy, had stuff to do, so I've been doing it in stages, but I'm really happy with it. So when I put the vegetable plants that I've got to go in it over the weekend, they'll give me an autumn stroke spring harvest, because I've got things like broad beans that are going to go in there. They're a winter variety, but they're going to go in now. You can sow them, you can sow certain varieties of broad beans from, say, October onwards. This variety I sowed towards the end of September. That will go into that new raised bed, along with a new variety of kale that I've got, and obviously in my other planter, which is on top of my patio, I've put salad. So yeah, that's all looking good, and hopefully we will have some crops to harvest come late autumn, early spring. I may cover some of them over with white cloche that will keep them from getting the major frosts. But yeah, generally I'm really happy with that, guys. So as always, thanks for watching my channel, thanks for subscribing, and if you did enjoy watching this video, hit the like button in the bottom of the screen, and don't forget to tell all your friends about my channel, and I'll see you soon. Right, guys, so I'm going to finish off the raised bed that I started the other day. What I showed you when I made this bit was this is going to go on top of the raised bed, and then a bit like one of my raised beds at the front here, it's going to have netting over it using those bendy poles. So what I've done is I've taken my drill there, used a small drill bit, and I've drilled a hole in each corner. Forget about the one closest to me. It's the one this side nearest to the wall, because I made a little bit of a mistake. I forgot the nail had been hammered in there. And then I've drilled a hole in the middle on either side, and then a hole at the end on these. And then basically what's going to happen is I'll just show you quickly how it's going to work. So these here are my bendy poles, and they come with these metal attachments. They've got holes in them, and then all you do, I'll put the first one in, as you can see, and then all you do is attach the little metal attachment to it, and you keep going up until you get the desired height that you want. Now they are very bendy, so I've gone with 3 bendy poles using 2 metal attachments, and I will go straight in the holes that I pre-drilled, and it will basically, guys, it will look like that. And then I'll go all the way along and do the same. I'll say go 3 high. Then I will use the clips that come with it, which are the clips down there, and I will clip the netting to it, and it will go over the raised bed that is finished, is in its place, or in the place where it's going to go. I'll show you that in a minute. Then I'll fill it with compost, and I will finish putting out some of the vegetables and salads that I've got. So what I'll do, guys, I'll crack on with this. I'll come back to you in a minute. Right, guys, I've got the hoops over and I've got the netting ready. I didn't have any of the white netting left, which is the finer mesh, but I've got this green stuff. I've got loads of it lying about. What I'm actually going to do is I'm going to tack the green mesh to my wooden frame there, and I'm going to use these. I'm going to hammer them in, because this netting won't come off, because all I'll have to do is just lift the frame off from the raised bed that I've made, and I won't need to take this apart. So I'm going to tack them down, making sure I've got enough either side. I may leave one side open so I can get in there, but I will probably, because I can lift it off, just literally tack all sides down. It can easily be watered, the plants, and it can be easily taken off. So I'm just going to tack this down. I'll come back to you in a minute, and I'll also show you where it's going to go. Okay, guys, there we go, it's finished. So I put the hoops through the 2 end slots and in the middle, and then I've netted it over, and I've tacked the netting all the way around, because I won't need to remove the netting. I've put a couple of little clips on the top because there was a tiny rip in the top, so they're holding that together. But this is ready to go. I'm going to go and take it round, and I'll show you where it's going to go, and I'll show you where the new raised bed is. Okay, so much like this raised bed, which is also going to be my cold frame eventually, the new raised bed has gone here, tucked up in the corner where I had my black storage trough. And then all that will happen is, once it's completely filled with compost, the lid that I built for it is literally just going to go straight on top. It might need to come away from the wall a bit, but it will sit on top like that, and it will be easier to maneuver, just to take off, and also to water the plants. I can leave it on there, but when the crops are harvested, I can literally lift it off, harvest some of the crops. So yeah, there you go guys, it's a brilliant piece that I've made. So I do like making stuff from wooden things like pallets. So as you know, I've made that one, I've made that one, and using pallet boards I've also made that one there. But yeah, really happy with this guys, and I'll upload this to the rest of the video, and I'll see you guys very soon.